Welcome to A God Shift with Shayna Rattler. I am a minister and life coach who helps individuals partner with God to embrace disruption and confidently enter the next chapter of their life. A God shift is the moment a disruption in your life collides with God's purpose and moves you into a greater destiny. God uses these disruptions to get our attention and invite us into the life that He has planned for us. It's important that we discover what it is that He wants us to see, what we are to learn, and where it is that He needs us next. Today we are discussing how to respond when God is calling us to something new. We serve a living God, which means He's not stagnant. And there are going to be times that He is calling us to something new, and there's going to be other times that you desire to do something new. And this happens because He uses us in phases, which requires us to reinvent ourselves, be in flow, and shift our gifts. Here are 4 key strategies that you should be aware of when you're being called to something new. Number 1, you must recognize the signs that you are being called to something new. Perhaps pursuing that thing that you once loved is now feeling like a chore. Maybe your relationships or opportunities are drying up. Or perhaps you are at a crossroads as to whether you should stay on the same path or whether you should actually begin to do something new. Number 2, you have to shift into becoming something new. It's so important that we don't focus so much on what it is that we should do. Your shifting season is going to be more about who you should become. So focus on developing the areas of your life that you need to improve, and then the doing will take care of itself. Number 3, you actually have to be something new. It's not enough just for you to know who you are now and know who it is that God is calling you to do. You actually have to be something new. And then number 4, it is so important that you lean in and surrender to the newness that it is that He is asking you to do. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we have a guest that has an amazing story to share about what God did when He was calling him to something new. We'll be right back.
Ready for a God shift, God shift.
Get lost in the pages of our latest book and discover the destiny you were created for. Another dimension of possibility awaits you, but a God shift is required to reveal it and access it. In A God Shift, a divine move from disruption to destiny, Shayna Rattler takes you on the journey of how she turned a once highly successful business that failed fast and left her questioning where God was taking her next into a thriving ministry and fulfilling life that affords her the opportunity to help others grow their faith and successfully navigate the seasons of life. This inspirational guide outlines the steps to confidently put your God shift in motion. Your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to shift? Grab your copy at agodshiftbook.com. Are you looking for ways to support the God Shift movement and others in need? Grab one of our premium tees at agodshift.com/shop, and we will donate 20% of the sales to the National Christian Foundation. These t-shirts are made of 100% premium soft cotton, come in white women's fit and black traditional fit, and are available in sizes extra small through 4X. It's time to embrace disruption, collide with God's purpose, and confidently shift into the next chapter of your life. Share your shift with the world by proudly wearing a God Shift t-shirt. Grab one for yourself and those you love at agodshift.com/shop.
Ready for a God shift, God shift.
Welcome back. My guest today has an exciting story to share about when he was being called to something new. Let's find out how he responded. Welcome to the show, David Ibrahim.
Hi.
Hey, David, how are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to share your story with the audience. So back when you were going through your God shift, what form of disruption did God use to get your attention?
So everything was going well with me till God told me to leave California and go to Dallas. California was my comfort zone, and it was hard for me just to leave it there. I had my friends and everything, but I listened, and I came to Dallas. I had a pretty good job. Uh, Everything was going fine till I was praying and God told me to leave my job, and that wasn't very comforting to me. Like, I'm doing well and everything. Why would I leave my job? So he told me to leave my job, and he's going to open doors in acting again. And acting has been my passion for so many years. So I was like, okay, I'll do it, God. I'll listen. And ever since I did that, he's been opening more doors in acting, and been going to a prayer house called the Upper Room, where I encountered God in very one-to-one meetings and listening to him like all the time and enjoying just sitting with him.
Yeah. Why Dallas? Like, you know, it would seem to me, and I'm just guessing because I don't know a whole lot about the acting business, but why do you think God was taking you from California to Dallas for acting? I've never considered Dallas as like an acting hub. I'm curious.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing as well. Like, I tried in California for 3 years, and it didn't work out well, and I wasn't going to try it again. So when it happened, I never thought that I would start like an acting career in Dallas at all. I was in LA already. Like, I was in the center and the hub of all the media production in the whole world. So I don't know why Dallas. It's just, I mean, ask God.
Yeah, you were just obedient, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand it. You're taking me from LA, which is known to be the acting hub of the world, really. We're here in Hollywood. But you want me to quit my job in Hollywood, and you want me to go to Dallas to pursue acting. Okay, I'll do that. And so tell me what happened. So you start going to this church, and tell me a little bit more about these opportunities that showed up because of your obedience.
So it started with the TV show, The Chosen. I was watching one episode, and it was in the back of my head like a little thought, like, God, I look like them, and I just want to be a part of it. And it's been like a 2-month journey, just to being obedient to the Lord and trusting Him, and always telling myself like how faithful the Lord is. And throughout the whole journey, I made it to that TV show, and I'm part of it for season 2. And I believe there is more coming, and this is what's been on my life and on my head, like, for the whole journey. Just, there is more. Trust, there is more. So that what was in my heart, and even God sent people to tell me, God is telling you there is more. Trust Him. Trust the little steps He's taking with you. And that's what I'm doing, just walking in His will.
That's so good. And so do you feel like when you're looking back, like, is that why this had to happen? Like, you know, you're asking me to leave my comfort zone. Like, talk about that. Like, how hard was that to say, I hear you, Lord, but you're asking me to leave I think that's what He told Abraham, like, leave everything you know and go to the place that I will show you. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it was just a journey of patience. I think that the Lord wanted me to learn how to be patient and how to wait on His timing, and most importantly, how to be that obedient, how to walk in His will, whatever it is. The Lord started to put me in like weird situations, weird for us people, but it's not weird for Him, that caused a lot of like blessings after I started to obey. So every step, it starts with like a weird promise, and it hit me so hard, like, this is not normal. And after that, I listen and I see, oh, you were right. So this is all started that way. So you get to gain this experience with the Lord.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to find out what the challenges were that David experienced when he left California and came to Dallas. We'll be right back.
Ready for a gotcha.
Get lost in the pages of our latest book and discover the destiny you were created for. Another dimension of possibility awaits you, but a God shift is required to reveal it and access it. In A God Shift, a divine move from disruption to destiny, Shayna Rattler takes you on the journey of how she turned a once highly successful business that failed fast and left her questioning where God was taking her next into a thriving ministry and fulfilling life that affords her the opportunity to help others grow their faith and successfully navigate the seasons of life. This inspirational guide outlines the steps to confidently put your God shift in motion. Your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to shift? Grab your copy at agodshiftbook.com.
Prisoner of Hope introduces The Vault, a membership community offering a library of videos designed to prepare and support you.
Many others, including myself, have gone through the long battle with the American justice system and have come out on the other side.
The Vault was created by families impacted by incarceration, along with experts. We know how to help because we've experienced it firsthand.
Remember, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's time to unlock your freedom in The Vault. Sign up now at prisonerofhopetv.com.
But it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a God shift, calling you higher, calling for greater. It's time to move. Your next chapter is waiting now. It may be difficult, but it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a God shift, ready for a God shift.
Welcome back. Before the break, David was sharing with us how God asked him to quit his job and move to Dallas and the great things that came out of being obedient. Well, let's find out if there's anything less to the story. So, David, what kind of challenges were you facing, like during the time that you were having to do this transition?
You know, it's not normal to leave your job and to not have any source of income. And I guess that was the biggest challenge for myself and also for the people around me that want to take care of me and to make sure that I'm doing well. So from having a good job, stable income, to not having a job, that was like a big transformation. And people, especially my family, they were like, okay, so at least like get like a part-time job or anything. And at that point, I was like, I will walk in His will. I prayed about it, like, God, if you want me to get a part-time job or any other job, just let me know. And there were no doors open to it. So that was the biggest challenge, I would say, just people not believing 100% that I will make it and I will be that actor that God wants me to be.
Yeah. So how do you overcome that? Especially like these people love you and you have respect for them and you have honor for them and they're telling you what you should do and they're scared for you. Like, how do you overcome that?
Well, of course, I had to pray about it, like, constantly, every single day, and listen to God's voice. Also, God taught me that, listen, not to worry about money and believing in Him that He will provide, and He's been providing, He's been faithful, and He never left me. So I think that was the main key, just to stick to His word and never forget how faithful He is.
Yeah, and that's such a key point. It's so important for us to remember that if He guides you somewhere, that He's going to provide for you as well. Even if what you see in front of you doesn't match what it is that He said, you still have to stay so in tune with what it is that He told you. Again, don't get hung up on what you see. Stick to what it is that He said. That's good. So tell me, how is your faith or your relationship with God? How was that affected during this time?
He took me to more depth with Him. So I was already born and raised in a Christian family and having that relationship with God, but getting to do like things abnormal to people, that will take you for more, like with more depth with God. And like I feel Him telling me like, go to the deep, and this is what He did with me. Just I went with Him to the deep point where, okay, even if people saying that this is not normal, you shouldn't be doing this, I trust you. And this trust like built more faith and growth and maturity with the relationship with God.
Yeah. Now let's unpack that one just a little bit more. Because if it were me, now you may not have had this experience, but if it were me and God said, leave your job in California, go to Dallas for an acting job that you don't have, and I'm going to make a way, and I say yes to that, I would have felt like I was already in the deep. Did you feel like you're like, look, Lord, this is not deep enough? Did you feel like that?
Well, at some points I would feel, Lord, like, listen, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I feel like I'm kind of blind. I'm not sure if I can make this, but these were like the down points. But God never leaves me like right there.
Yeah.
He would stretch his hand to me and take me to more depth where I believe without seeing.
Yeah.
So I felt that depth. At some points, the enemy tried just to grab me away or to put like inner wrong or mistaken thoughts in my head, but I would just listen to God.
Yeah. How do you balance that though? Because, you know, there's like this spiritual side of us that understands the word, but then there's this practical side of us that knows what it is that we're experiencing, and you're having to shut all these voices out. Like, how do you navigate all that?
Well, I can say my past helped me because I spent lots of time just listening to my inner voice, and I never made it. And I would do it by myself, and it never ended up well. So I was like, I tried that before, and I had that experience of listening to my inner thoughts, and I know the results. So I kept telling myself, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah.
I'll take the path of God.
Yeah. You know, the word says, like, not by might, not by power, but of your spirit, Lord. And there's so many times that we want to rely on our own strengths and our own ambitions and our own power, especially if we've done well with something else before in the past. It's so easy to do that. But what David just shared with you is how important it is to say, listen, what I've done in the past did not work out so well, and I'm going into a territory where I have no idea what it is that this is going to look like. So the last thing that I'm going to do is begin to, you know, try to rely on my own strength. So always remember that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to learn more about what is going on in David's life now. We'll be right back.
Ready for a God shift, God shift.
Hey guys, I am so excited to share something really cool with you. There is an organization called Black Christian Influencers that has some amazing people. Some that you may know, some that you may not, but they all are doing some amazing work in the kingdom. So if you can, go on over to the page at Black Christian Influencers, or you can visit the website at www.blackchristianinfluencers.com.
Are you looking for ways to support the God Shift movement and others in need? Grab one of our premium tees at agodshift.com/shop, and we will donate 20% of the sales to the National Christian Foundation. These t-shirts are made of 100% premium soft cotton, come in white women's fit and black traditional fit, and are available in sizes extra small through 4X. It's time to embrace disruption, collide with God's purpose, and confidently shift into the next chapter of your life. Share your shift with the world by proudly wearing a God Shift t-shirt. Grab one for yourself and those you love at agodshift.com/shop.
But it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a God shift, calling you higher, calling for greater. It's time to move, your next chapter is waiting now. It may be difficult, but it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a God shift, Ready for a God shift,
Welcome back. Before the break, David was sharing with us the good things that can happen in your life when you're actually obedient to what it is that God is telling you. So David, talk to us a little bit about what did you learn and who are you now?
I learned how to be patient on the Lord and to wait on His timing. Like, as the Lord give me a promise, it will happen. So I also learned not to push it. Like, yeah, I see doors are being opened, but not to push it, not to go for people. Hey, like, are you on that TV show? Can you get me in? And all that. I was like, I used to pray about it. That's one thing. Another thing also, of course, how to put myself in the area where I remind myself that the Lord is always faithful.
Yeah.
And He said a word, He will happen. He's the yes and the amen. So that's the main things that I've learned during that journey.
That's good. So I need you to help me. And maybe some of the listeners are similar to me. I struggle with patience. So what would you say to somebody who knows that they need to be more patient? How can we get a little bit more of what you have?
Okay, so I would say a couple things. Number one, listen. So if God sent you somebody, or if he himself told you something, do it whatever the cost is, because you're not going to regret it. Number two, I would say pray about it as much as you think about it. Yeah, just keep praying about it and trust the Lord. And yeah, I think like there is no other thing than just praying, because it's a relationship with the Lord. So you got to talk to him. You got to make him listen even to your cries, to your happiness. He's sharing everything with you.
Yeah, I hope you caught that. He said pray about it as much as you think about it, because thinking about a thing can only take you so far. At one point I heard someone say that knowledge is power, but I believe that knowledge with action is power. So if you're just going to sit around and you're going to think about it and you're going to talk about it, but you're either not going to do anything about it yourself, or you're not actually going to talk to the person who can actually do something about it, it's just you decrease the chances that you are actually going to get unstuck. So pray about it more than you think about it. That's like a t-shirt. So tell us, as we begin to wrap up, what piece of advice would you give someone who is in a similar situation as to what you experienced?
I would advise people in similar situations, just always remind yourself that the Lord is trustworthy and he is faithful. And the Lord doesn't open a door and once you step your foot in it, he's going to close it. He doesn't deal with us this way. He just open doors. All you got to do is just step in. And like, don't worry too much about what the people will say, because what's more important, what God says.
Yeah. You're so grounded. You're so grounded, and I honor that, and I admire that about you, how grounded you are. And you know, it takes a lot of courage to step into the unknown, and then once you get to the unknown, to continue to step in the deep. And so I just want to remind you that God is faithful to complete what he started, and what, you know, the best is yet to come for you. You know, for those of you who were paying attention, David is an actor, and so I can't wait to see, you know, the roles that are coming that have your name on them. You know, I really feel that right now God is placing your name on the mouths and the ears of people that don't even know that you exist. And so just hold on, because that role that you think you want, I do believe that there's a bigger one that's coming even than the role that you want. So just keep doing what you're doing, because you're so grounded. So David, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you again for having me, and thank you for these kind words. God
You're
bless
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
Ready for a God shift, God shift.
Get lost in the pages of our latest book and discover the destiny you were created for. Another dimension of possibility awaits you, but a God shift is required to reveal it and access it. In A God Shift, a divine move from disruption to destiny, Shayna Rattler takes you on the journey of how she turned a once highly successful business that failed fast and left her questioning where God was taking her next into a thriving ministry and fulfilling life that affords her the opportunity to help others grow their faith and successfully navigate the seasons of life. This inspirational guide outlines the steps to confidently put your God shift in motion. Your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to shift? Grab your copy at agodshiftbook.com. Are you looking for ways to support the God Shift movement and others in need? Grab one of our premium tees at agodshift.com/shop, and we will donate 20% of the sales to the National Christian Foundation. These t-shirts are made of 100% premium soft cotton, come in white women's fit and black traditional fit, and are available in sizes extra small through 4X. It's time to embrace disruption, collide with God's purpose, and confidently shift into the next chapter of your life. Share your shift with the world by proudly wearing a God Shift t-shirt. Grab one for yourself and those you love at agodshift.com/shop.
Get ready for a God shift, God shift.
Welcome back. Our guest today, David, shared with us how obeying God when he told him to quit his job now led to him having the job of his dreams. Anytime you're in something new, fear and doubt can come along with it. But remember that God will always prepare you for the place that he has prepared for you, and he will give you the provision for that vision. The how is none of your business. Your only job is to give God your yes. If your life is full of unexpected circumstances and you want to learn how to get unstuck and to where God needs you next, download our free guide at GodSaysShift.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you back here next week. Bye-bye.